Hello friends, welcome to Audiobook Daily. Today we'll talk about the book Grit by Angela Duckworth. Every morning at exactly 6:30, Ravi ironed his shirt, polished his shoes, and left home carrying the same worn leather folder that held his resume. At 50 years old, he had over 25 years of experience in operations management. He had led teams, solved complex problems, and built a career he was proud of. Then, the company he worked for closed during a global economic downturn. Within weeks, Ravi joined thousands of experienced professionals searching for work. At first, he believed finding another job would be easy. It wasn't. Days became weeks. Weeks became months. Every interview ended the same way. "You're highly experienced, but we're looking for someone younger." Those words hurt more than every rejection email. For the first time in his life, Ravi questioned his own worth. One evening, his 10-year-old granddaughter, Mira, found him staring silently at old certificates. "Grandpa," she asked softly, "why do you look sad every day?" Ravi smiled, trying to hide his pain. "I'm just tired." She looked at him and said something simple. "My teacher says people only lose when they stop trying." The words stayed with him long after she had gone to bed. The next morning, Ravi made a promise to himself. He would stop measuring his life by rejection letters. Instead, he would measure it by the person he became every day. That decision changed everything. Rather than applying endlessly to every vacancy, Ravi asked himself a deeper question. What kind of work gives me energy? He realized he had always loved helping people improve systems and mentoring younger colleagues. That wasn't just a job. It was his passion. And for the first time in months, he had a reason to keep moving forward. Every day became a training day. He enrolled in online courses. He learned modern software he had never used before. He improved his Excel, reporting, and digital communication skills. Many evenings were frustrating. Sometimes he failed simple quizzes. Sometimes technology made him feel years older than he was. But instead of saying, "I'm too old to learn," he told himself, "I'm not there yet." Slowly, frustration turned into confidence. He wasn't relying on experience alone anymore. He was building new skills. Ravi remembered something an old mentor once told him. "Talent opens a door. Effort decides how far you walk." Those words became his daily motivation. He understood that experience was valuable, but effort was what transformed experience into achievement. Instead of practicing everything, Ravi practiced one thing at a time. One week he focused only on presentation skills. The next week he improved data analysis. Then interview communication. Every mistake became a lesson. Every lesson made him stronger. Months passed. Friends began asking why he never gave up. Ravi smiled. "I'm no longer chasing only a paycheck," he said. "I'm becoming someone who can make a difference wherever I work." His purpose had become greater than employment. He wanted to prove that experience, combined with continuous learning, could inspire an entire generation. One afternoon, a young entrepreneur invited Ravi for an interview. Unlike previous interviews, this one felt different. Instead of asking about his age, the founder asked, "What have you learned during your unemployment?" Ravi answered honestly, "I learned that losing a job isn't the same as losing your value. I discovered new skills, improved old ones, and learned that growth never has an age limit." The room became silent. Then the interviewer smiled. "We don't just need experience. We need someone who never stopped growing." A week later, Ravi received the call he had been waiting for. He got the job. But surprisingly, the tears in his eyes weren't because of the offer. They were because he realized something much bigger. The job was simply the reward. The real victory had happened months earlier, when he chose perseverance instead of self-pity. A year later, Ravi became one of the company's most respected mentors. Young employees often asked him the secret behind his resilience. He would point toward the small notebook he carried everywhere. Inside were hundreds of tiny daily goals. Learn one new idea. Improve one skill. Help one person. Never stop. Looking back, Ravi understood that life had been teaching him a lesson all along. Success doesn't belong to the most talented person. It belongs to the one who keeps showing up after disappointment. Angela Duckworth's message in Grit had quietly become the story of Ravi's life. He discovered his passion by helping others grow. He persevered through rejection instead of surrendering to it. He proved that effort matters more than talent because effort builds skill, and continued effort turns skill into achievement. He embraced deliberate practice by improving one ability at a time instead of expecting overnight success. He found a higher purpose in mentoring and serving others rather than simply earning a salary. He replaced fear with hope, believing that every action could shape a better future. Most importantly, he finished what he started. The dream that others thought had expired at 50 became the beginning of his most meaningful chapter. Ravi finally understood that happiness is not found in avoiding hardship. It is found in refusing to let hardship define you. Because grit is not about never falling. It is about standing up again and again until your perseverance becomes your greatest strength. Thank you for listening. If you like the audio, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. See you in next audiobook daily.